50-50 loudly and doing the dance moves. You had a beauty sheet mask on your face and were wearing your favorite nightie. The room was messy with chocolate wrappers, juice cans, and chips packets from your little party. Just as you sang the chorus, the door opened. Your heart skipped a beat as Taeyang, your elder brother, walked in. But what really made you freeze was seeing Jungkook, his best friend, right behind him. Jungkook was grinning and waving at you with a mischievous smile. "Why, what is this?" Taeyang asked, looking at the mess. He hated untidy places and you knew you were in trouble. "I forgot to clean, I'll clean it," you said nervously. Jungkook, standing behind Taeyang, was trying hard not to laugh, clearly enjoying your discomfort. You glanced at Jungkook, who was biting his lips to keep from laughing out loud. His embarrassment made you feel even more embarrassed. Then you remembered the sheet mask on your face. Your eyes widened in horror. How could you have forgotten about it? You quickly put your hands over your face, trying to hide it, but it was too late. "Oppa, I need to go. Promise I'll clean it," you said in your cutest voice, hoping to distract them. Without waiting for a response, you ran out of the room like a little kid, your cheeks burning with embarrassment. Behind you, you heard Taeyang and Jungkook laughing. "It's really hard to keep this stern look with her cuteness," Taeyang said, laughing. She was really scared of that look. Jungkook added, shaking his head. You ran up the stairs and into your room, slamming the door shut behind you. You ripped the mask off your face and buried your head in the pillow, feeling mortified. Downstairs, Jungkook and Taeyang continued to laugh. You groaned, knowing you wouldn't hear the end of this for a while. Few days later. A few days had passed since the embarrassing incident in the living room. You came downstairs to have dinner and found Taeyang and Jungkook already seated at the table. It was normal for Taeyang's friends to come over or stay for a sleepover, so Jungkook being here wasn't unusual. As you all started to eat, Jungkook, sitting right in front of you, decided to have some fun. He did secretly hit your toe with his under the table. You looked at him surprised while continuing to eat rice with chopsticks. He smiled at you, but Taeyang was busy eating and didn't notice what was happening. You decided to play along and hit his toe back. Thus began a subtle toe fight under the table, unnoticed by Taeyang. However, before the game could escalate, Taeyang spoke up. "Why don't we go on a trip? It's been a long time since we went anywhere," he suggested. Jungkook agreed, suggesting, "How about living in a forest and staying with nature for 5 days? Taeyang nodded, liking the idea. "Sounds good. I'll start packing things from today," you said excitedly and looked at Taeyang with puppy eyes. "Can I bring Minnie, please?" you asked, referring to your best friend whom Taeyang had a crush on but hadn't told anyone. Taeyang smiled brightly and agreed. "Yeah, why not? She can come." Jungkook noticed Taeyang's reaction and realized he might have a crush on Minnie. Jungkook, always ready to tease, spoke. "Just don't pack too many beauty products. Who knows, the animals in the forest might be scared to see you with a face mask sheet again." Jungkook and Taeyang burst into laughter while you pouted and looked at Taeyang. "Oppa, he's teasing me," you complained. Taeyang laughed and turned to Jungkook. "Stop it, don't you dare tease my princess. I know she looks like a ghost in that mask, but that doesn't mean we'll tease her," he said jokingly, making everyone at the table laugh. Wang glared at him and clenched her jaw. Day of the trip. The day of the trip had finally arrived. You, Taeyang, Jungkook, and the other friends of them, RM, Jin, Suga, Jaehoop, and Jimin, along with your best friend Minnie, were all packed and ready to go. The van was filled with excited chatter as everyone settled in for the long drive for the forest. Minnie was thrilled to be enjoying you on this adventure, and you couldn't help but notice Taeyang stealing glances at her every now and then. Jungkook, who had observed Taeyang's behavior before, nursed you and whispered, "Looks like Taeyang has a crush on Minnie," he said as Taeyang was helping her with her bag. You giggled softly, nodding in agreement. "I think so too," you whispered back, standing at last. In van, Jungkook and Jimin were sitting beside each other, roasting early London and laughing their heads off. Taeyang was sitting with Minnie, both engrossed in their own world, talking and laughing. Jaehoop was with Yoongi, who was asleep with his head on Jacob's shoulder. Adam and Jin were in the back, chatting quietly. An uncle was driving the van, giving the whole scene of a cozy K-drama vibe, but you were left standing, the only one without a seat. Oppa, where am I going to sit? All the seats are taken. You asked him, feeling a bit left out. Hem looked around and realized there truly were no empty seats. Can you just put on the van? You suggest, feeling a bit desperate. Hem sighed and said, I don't think we can do that right now. The trip is long and we are already late. Please manage for now. He looked around once more before suggesting, how about you sit on Jungkook's lap? Your eyes widened in shock. No way, such a nice brother suggesting me to sit on his best friend's lap. You glared at him. Why are you sitting with my best friend? Get up, I'll sit here. Tim flustered and spoke, I won't give you my seat. Then I'll sit on your lap. He spoke suddenly. He held you. No need, I don't want to break my legs. Go and sit with Jungkook. He turned her towards Jungkook. You clenched your fist, not forgetting to mess up his hair. Tim sighed for the 101st time and said helplessly, just manage for now, you're more familiar with him, so it shouldn't be a big problem. As if your name is written on the seat. You muttered and reluctantly walked over to Jungkook, who was still laughing with Jimin. Clearing your throat, you caught their attention. Hey Jungkook, can I sit here? Jungkook's laughter died down as he realized the situation. What, do you want to sit on my head? No, on your lap. That's what my beloved brother says. He didn't forget to shout Thang a death stare. He looked at you, then at Thang, and finally back at you. I guess it's fine. Come on, sit down, he said, patting his lap. Feeling embarrassed, you gingerly sat on Jungkook's lap, trying to make yourself as small as possible. Jimin smiled, nudging Jungkook. Better behave, Jungkook. He teased. Jungkook rolled his eyes but smiled. Yeah, don't worry. As the van continued its journey, the initial awkwardness began to fade. The others resumed their conversation and activities, filling the van with a lively, comfortable atmosphere. Jungkook and Jimin returned to their banter, and despite the odd sitting arrangement, you found yourself starting to relax. Jungkook, sensing your discomfort, whispered, just relax, okay, it's not that bad. You nodded, feeling a bit more at ease. Maybe this trip, despite its unexpected challenges, would turn out to be a memorable adventure after all. After some time, Jungkook couldn't resist teasing you. You know, Wine, I think you have gained some weight. Maybe you should hit the gym more often. You felt a flush of embarrassment and gave him a playful smack on the shoulder. Stop it, Jungkook. After what seemed 2,000 hours, Jungkook groaned dramatically. I feel like my leg is going to break. You rolled your eyes but couldn't help feeling a bit guilty. Just hang in there a little longer. You said despite the tease, the long travel made both of you tired. Eventually you and Jungkook ended up dozing off, your head resting on his shoulder and his head on yours. Jimin, who was sitting beside Jungkook, giggled quietly at the sight and decided to take some pictures of the two of you sleeping so closely together. I'll show them after they wake up. It will be fun. The rest of the van continued in a peaceful hum of quiet conversations and soft music, everyone looking forward to the adventures that awaited them in the forest. And skip. After several hours on the road, the van finally reached the forest. The scenery was breathtaking, with tall trees and lush greenery stretching as far as the eye could see. The air was crisp and fresh, a welcome change from the city. As the van pulled to a stop, Adam announced, all right everyone, we are here. Let's start unpacking and setting up the camp. You woke up to the sound of Adam's voice, realizing her head was resting on Jungkook's shoulder. She quickly straightened up, feeling a bit embarrassed. Jungkook stayed awake as well, stretching and yawning. Look at this place, it's so incredible. Wine followed his gaze, taking in the sight of the forest around them. The sunlight filtered through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The sounds of birds chirping and leaves rustling in the breeze filled the air, creating a serene atmosphere. It's like something out of a dream. Definitely, I can't wait to explore. Everyone pitched in to help each other, having their own tent. You all worked together, laughing and joking as you secured the tents and arranged your belongings inside. After setting up camp, the group decided to explore the nearby river. Excited chatter filled the air as they made their way through the forest, the sound of rushing water growing louder with each step. Look at the river, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it's so peaceful here. I can't wait to try fishing. I bet we'll catch some big ones. With fishing rods in hands, they gathered along the river bank, eager to test their luck. Sugar and Jim demonstrated their fishing skills, quickly hooking a few fish. Looks like we'll have dinner sorted for tonight. Jimin and J-Hope, always the playful pair, started pretending to be fish, darting around and laughing. Hey, watch out, J-Hope, I'm going to catch you. You'll have to be faster than that, Jimin. Meanwhile, Thang and Minnie sat by the river bank, enjoying the peace of the moment. Isn't this nice, Minnie? Just the sound of the river and the fresh air. Yeah, it's so peaceful. I'm glad we came to this trip. Back at the campsite, Jungkook and Won bonded over their shared excitement for fishing. Have never been fishing before. This is going to be fun. Me neither. Let's see who can catch the biggest fish. As the sun began to set, they returned to camp with their catch of the day, ready to cook up a delicious meal over the campfire. The sound of laughter and smell of cooking fish filled the air, creating memories that would last a lifetime. At night, the campfire crackled warmly as everyone gathered around. The delicious smell of the fish filled the air. Who caught the biggest fish? I think it was Jungkook. Well, we have a talented mummy. Thanks for the compliment. After dinner, Jimin played guitar softly and everyone sang along to familiar songs. How about we share some stories? Good idea. Let's start with ghost stories. After Jin's spooky tale and Jimin's funny haunted house story, the mood lightened. Remember when Jungkook tried to scare us by hiding in the classroom? Yeah, but I ended up scaring myself when a janitor walked in. Everyone laughed. J-Hope and Jimin stood up grinning. Time for some entertainment. We present to you the ultimate belly dance performance. They dance around the campfire, their exhilarating moves making everyone laugh. Someone record this. Even Sugar joined in doing a funny dance, cheering. You and Jungkook danced together, mimicking each other's silly moves. As the energy ended, everyone sat down again, catching their breath. That was the best. It was. The night wore on and one by one everyone went to their tents, excited for the day's time skip. The camp was quite lit by the moonlight. You couldn't sleep, so you checked on Minnie, but she was asleep, and when you tried to wake her up, she didn't get up. You went to Thang's tent. Oppa, I'm not sleepy, what should I do? You whispered, shaking him gently. Thang groaned. Why let me sleep, I'm tired. You left and sat by the fading campfire. It was peaceful as you looked at the stars. You felt a breath near your ears. Startled, you turned to see Jungkook grinning. You scared me. Jungkook laughed. Couldn't sleep? You nodded. Well, it's so peaceful out here. Mind if I join you? Not at all. You moved over to make room. We both sat silently enjoying the night. The tension from earlier faded. I have always loved nights like this. It's so calm. You nodded. Yeah, me too. As the night went on, you and Jungkook shared stories. Eventually, the fire died down. We should head back to my tent. Yeah, walking back, the memory of peaceful night with Jungkook made you smile. Few days later, the next few days had gone smoothly, but today you decided to gather wood alone as the others had different tasks. Jungkook, however, wasn't keen on the idea. I'll go find some wood, it won't take long. I don't think you should go alone. It's okay, I'll be quick. Besides, I know my way around. Reluctantly, Jungkook agreed, but he couldn't shake off the feeling of uneasiness. Hours passed and you still hadn't returned. Concerned, Jungkook and Thang decided to search for you in different ways. One, they called out your name, their voice echoing through the trees, but there was no response. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the shadows grew longer and the sounds of the night began to emerge. After what seemed like an eternity, Jungkook spotted you a little way from the camp. You were sitting on the ground, hugging your knees, tears streaming down your face. He rushed over to you, his heart pounding with worry. Why did you come this far? I saw a rabbit running. I followed it and lost the track of my way. Jungkook sighed, a mix of amusement and concern in his eyes. You're so cute and yet so silly sometimes. I know I should have been more careful. As he helped you up, a wave of relief washed over him and he couldn't help but confess. I was really worried about you. Why would you be worried? You should be happy that I got lost. Happy? Why would I be happy? Because you hate me. Who said I hate you? Your actions, the way you tease me and irritate me. Jungkook sighed, realizing the impact of his actions on you. I don't hate you, Wine. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I like you a lot. No, I love you. You do? Surprised by his confession, she looked at him, her eyes wide. Jungkook nodded. Yes, I do. I have been teasing you because I didn't know how else to act around you. I didn't want you to know how I really felt. Wine smiled softly. I had no idea. I thought you hated me. I could never hate you, Wine. You mean too much to me. Their eyes met, and in that moment everything seemed to fall into place. The tension between them melted away, replaced by a newfound understanding and a hint of something more. After Jungkook confessed his feelings, he kissed you softly. You kissed back, realizing you felt the same way. It was a moment that changed everything, bringing you closer and starting a new chapter in your relationship. As you and Jungkook kissed, you suddenly heard Taeng's voice. You pulled away quickly and stood up just as Taeng approached. Wine, you're here finally. Taeng hugged you tightly. From now on, you will never go anywhere alone. Now let's go. He started to walk away, but you grabbed his wrist. Oppa, I want to say something. Taeng looked at you, curiosity in his eyes. Jungkook and we both feel the same way about each other. Do you have any objection to this? Taeng's expression turned serious and he shouted, No, I don't approve of this relationship. You and Jungkook looked down, feeling disheartened. Then you heard Taeng laugh. You both looked up to see him chuckling. Literally, guys, I was just kidding. Why would I have any objection? You and Jungkook felt revealed, glancing at each other with smiles. Then Jungkook smiled. What about you, Taeng? When are you going to confess to Minnie? Taeng's eyes widened and he stuttered. No, there's nothing like that. You smiled, nudging Taeng. Oppa, just confess it. We know you both love each other. Taeng sighed and finally gave up. Okay, I will. Just then the other members arrived. We thought you both were lost too along with Wine. No, we just found her here. He leaned in and whispered to Taeng. Oppa, confess to Minnie now or never. Taeng nodded, mustering up his courage. The group gathered around, curious about what was happening. Taeng took a deep breath, looking nervous. Minnie, can I talk to you for a moment? Minnie looked surprised but nodded, stepping closer to Taeng. Sure, Taeng, what's up? Taeng took another deep breath, his hands shaking a little. Minnie, I have wanted to tell you something for a long time. I really like you, more than just a friend. I have felt this way for a while but was too scared to say anything. Minnie's eyes widened in surprise and she blushed. Taeng, I like you too. I was just too afraid to say anything. The group cheered, clapping and congratulating them. Finally, we were waiting for this moment. Took you long enough, Taeng. This trip just keeps getting better. Jungkook smiled, looking at you with a knowing glance. See, it wasn't so hard, was it? You smiled, feeling happy for Taeng and Minnie. Oppa, I'm so happy for you. Taeng and Minnie hugged, their faces lit up with joy. The atmosphere was filled with happiness and excitement. Let's celebrate. This calls for another round of dancing. Everyone laughed and joined in the fun, dancing around the campfire. The night was filled with laughter, love, and unforgettable memories.